It was a glamorous spring morning on the island of Sodor. Miss Jenny's machines were very excited. Their job for the day was to build a beautiful garden. The garden was to be built alongside the very famous band site near Great Watertown. And most importantly, there was to be a grand opening presented by a fat mayor. The machines were working their hardest with their own unique jobs. Ned carefully dug the soil. Isabella and Kelly were helping plant seeds to grow into trees. I hope those trees will be as beautiful as my paint, said Isabella cheekily. Kelly laughed. As long as we're careful, dear, he said. Nothing can harm them. Jack and Alfie digging the earth for more room. You know, Jack, whizzed Alfie, digging the earth is fun, but seeing and hearing a band will be twice the fun. Couldn't put it better myself, Jack bounced. Patrick, the cement mixer, was carefully pouring concrete to hold the band site. But he wasn't feeling his cheerful self. He looked sad. Later that night, the machines returned after a hard day's work. They were all excited for the band site. Except for Patrick. Jack and Alfie noticed this. Everything all right, Patrick? Asked Jack. You're never usually this quiet, clattered Alfie. I feel neglected, mumbled Patrick. Everyone has something exciting with their job. Except for me. You two love to dig, and everyone gives you a glance. Kelly saved Isabella, and he gets recommended for it. But when it comes to me, oh, good old Patrick the cement mixer. No one ever appreciates my beautiful concrete. We can't understand, clattered Jack. It's just soft, sticky, mushy stuff. How is it so beautiful? Patrick grew stern. Concrete keeps you from sinking. Besides, it takes patience and a lot of dedication in order to get the job done. Jack and Alfie looked at each other. They decided to drop the conversation, and one by one, all the machines were fast asleep. Soon it was morning, and all of Miss Jenny's machines headed off to work. But Patrick was the only one left in the yards. He was still feeling down in the dumps. But suddenly in the office, Miss Jenny was very worried. Are you sure about this? Okay, don't worry, sir. We'll be there soon. Soon she came running up to Patrick. She looked very tired. You won't believe this, Patrick, she panted. But I just got a call from the owner that there are holes in your cement. Patrick gasped. Holes? In my lovely cement? That's right, said Miss Jenny. We must be there urgently. We won't make it in time, sighed Patrick. The grand opening isn't till tomorrow. If we get to work, it'll take ages. Don't suppose there's another source of creating concrete? Then Miss Jenny had an idea. Patrick, you are a genius. I am? Asked Patrick. What'd I do? Years ago, my father had a secret recipe of creating concrete the old-fashioned way. Perhaps we should try it his way. Patrick wasn't too sure, but he knew the mayor was counting on him. So he gritted his gears and raced out of the yards. Patrick hoped the holes weren't as big as Miss Jenny had put them. But when they arrived, Patrick could hardly believe his eyes. Those holes ruined my beautiful concrete. Those aren't holes, said Miss Jenny, taking a closer inspection. Those are footprints. Then she had a thought. A poor critter must have wandered onto your wet cement. How should we do this, ma'am? Asked Patrick. Miss Jenny smiled. Okay, this is how we do. And so Miss Jenny told Patrick where to stop. Then she explained how to lay the concrete very slowly and evenly. That's how my father would put it in. Patrick was amazed. The workmen were very impressed. At last, the important work was done. This was a piece of cake, wheezed Patrick. Don't get your hopes up yet, said Miss Jenny. The concrete still is wet. Let's hope it can dry for the grand opening tomorrow. Patrick hoped so too. Soon the day came for the grand opening. Out of his car stepped the fat mayor. What a lovely day, he said to himself. That bandstand looks splendid. The crowd was waiting for the grand opening, and so were Miss Jenny's machines. The fat mayor took a deep breath and started to walk the bandside without noticing the wet concrete. Patrick and Miss Jenny looked at each other worriedly. I hope this works, she murmured. But to Patrick's surprise, the fat mayor kept walking. He then walked up to the bandstand, completely unscathed. After a few minutes, he came back with scissors and walked towards the ribbon. I declare this bandstand open! The band played out loud. The crowd cheered and clapped, and the engines blew their whistles. The machines were pleased, and Miss Jenny was impressed. She then spoke to Patrick. Well done, Patrick, she said. You'd make a mother proud. You know, Patrick, said Jack, I finally realized why concrete is so important after all. For once, Patrick showed a grin.